Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Now, I thought I'd go back to the camp to respec a couple of my characters, but I cannot go to the camp because that triggers the Lost Chapel. So, in this episode, we will stay with our current party and we will go to the Inconspicuous camp, possibly the underground hideout, and I think also Heaven's Edge. And after that, next episode should be quite eventful. Probably, the Lost Chapel is massive. So that's probably going to be 2 episodes, to be honest. Let's head on up to the Inconspicuous camp, though. I prefer when in doubt to run in circles, scream and shout, but that's just me. Crinukh. The aged kobold sitting by the small campfire greets you with an amicable gesture. He does not reach for his weapon or hiss threateningly. All in all, his behavior is highly unusual for one of his kind. His clothes look quite unusual too. Not many kobolds opt for human clothing, nor do they adorn their possessions with spikes or scales. Greetings, my name is Crinukh. I am all alone here, so you may safely come closer. He speaks smoothly without the usual kobold hissing. Moving slightly aside, the kobold points to the carcass of a small animal on a stick roasting over the fire. Dinner will be ready soon. Who are you? As I've already mentioned, my name is Crinukh, at your service. The kobold offers a short bow and an unusual gesture for one of his kind to make. As a rule, kobolds do not express their respect to anyone other than dragons. I am a traveller and a friend to the Crusade. I can be your friend too if you are tolerant toward kobolds. Crinukh utters the word tolerant with shocking ease, as if he is something other than the narrow-minded and savage subterranean beast you expect him to be. Kobolds are infamous for worshipping dragons and despising all other races, and few of them would even understand the concept of tolerance, let alone subscribe to it. The Crusade has many unusual friends, but even I haven't met anyone like you before. I'll be glad to see a kobold in our ranks. Sela smiles amiably. Always the naive one. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I have no intention of marching within the Crusader ranks. Still, I hope that my humble assistance will be of use to you. Wait, what did you just say? Tolerant? Are you sure you're a kobold? Ah, so you saw through my disguise. Crinukh tried to mislead you with sweet words, and then ambush you. The kobold utters a loud hiss, which then morphs into an amused chuckle. Of course I'm a kobold. Trust me, you are not the first to be shocked after hearing me speak and realizing that I'm not going to rob or kill you. I'm lucky. If representatives of other races want to be seen as intellectuals or decent conversationalists, they have to read a lot of books, refine their manners, possess a passing knowledge of classical theatre, and douse themselves in fine perfume. Whereas in my case, all I have to do is not lunge at you with a spear or hiss every other word. I like this kobold. Was it you who left me that note? The kobold shrugs. Of course. Who else could it be? I wanted to make sure you were interested in the information I can provide. What are you cooking? Judging by its ears and hind legs, it's a hare. The kobold casts a dubious glance at the animal's mouth, which boasts a set of huge teeth. Or maybe it's a tiger? It depends on your point of view, I suppose. And, what do you want from me? I want nothing from you. I'm asking for nothing, I'm simply offering to help. I sympathize with your cause, so I would like to provide whatever support I can from time to time. Does that work for you? The kobold stops and looks at you expectantly. How exactly can you help me? With advice, mostly. Throughout my life I have seen a lot, and a piece of timely advice can be extremely valuable, don't you agree? Of course, if your advisor is a kobold, the merits are not so obvious, but you're in luck. This kobold right here has extensive knowledge of a variety of matters that you may find useful someday. After some thought, he nods toward the campfire. One more thing I have to offer is this hare, after it's cooked. How do you know so much about demons? Crinukh gives you a long and heavy look. I've had some experience with them. I don't want to go into the details right now. All I'm saying is that after a rather short and not even hostile encounter with them, I stopped eating meat for several years. Thank you. We would appreciate any help. Crinukh nods agreeably. Then we have a deal. You won't regret your decision. Just drop by my camp every now and then so we can have a word. Perhaps I will be able to give you some useful tips. Pulling out a small knife, the traveller carefully cuts up 2 strips of meat from the roasted hare. He throws one into his toothy maw while graciously offering the other to you. A strange animal for sure, but it seems edible. The energies of the Worldwound mask everything in illusion. Harmless-looking animals try to eat you for dinner. Dangerous paths appear to be straight roads, and your enemies? Sometimes your enemies can look like your friends. Crinukh squints and looks deeply into your eyes. Have you ever been in a situation like this? First, you think a person is your friend and ally, but then the scales fall from your eyes and you realize they are actually your sworn enemy. So, you catch this person, you tie them up, and then you start thinking, how should you treat them now? Like your enemy? Like your former friend? It's hard to decide. What would you do if one of your friends turned out to be a traitor? Are you talking about someone specific? Wow, your question reeks of paranoia. No, I'm not talking about anyone specific, and I'm not implicating anyone. The kobold chuckles. I'm sorry. It seems my joke has spoiled your sleep for the next few nights. I would try to find out what would force the traitor to reveal the truth about their real masters, and then do whatever that is. The kobold grins. What if you have to threaten them with the death of their family? Or what if you have to grant mercy to someone truly despicable? You don't have to answer. I can tell by your eyes that you're willing to do whatever it takes. And that is correct. If you catch a villain, don't rush to put a noose around their neck. First learn everything they have to tell you. As for principles and morality, you better stuff them in your deepest pocket and don't bandy them about without good reason. I liked your answer. You obviously think with your head and don't just parrot the instructions of others. Then again, if we are discussing traitors, it is fortunate that betrayal is not reserved for mortals alone. Demons stab each other in the back far more frequently. The rumor is that there are at least 2 demon stashes within Dresden, filled with arms and supplies that were stolen by Deskarites from Baphomets and vice versa. One of them is near the entrance to the fortress, while another one lies by the entrance to the citadel. Where did you learn that? Gossip, hearsay. The world is an ocean of chatter, and I'm quite a skilled fisherman. Well, that is valuable information. Of course it is. I would not waste your time. Cracking his knuckles, Crinukh gives you an inquisitive look. I hope that when the time comes for you to make real decisions instead of hypothetical ones, your wisdom won't fail you. Just one bad choice can turn a revered leader into a disgraced pariah. I've seen it happen before. I lived through something like that. My tribe suffered a disaster caused by just one bad choice. Can you even imagine? The kobold squints sadly, his shoulders slumping a bit. With a sigh, he begins to talk. I don't like telling this story, but it might be useful for you to know it. Perhaps it will serve as a warning. Will you tell me? Crinukh clears his throat and starts talking in a sonorous voice that reveals his experience as a bard. I was born into the mighty and proud tribe of the Night Ruby. Our caves were vast, our mine shafts were rich in quartz and metals, and our underground lakes were brimming with fish. And, of course, we had plenty of slaves. The Night Ruby was a model of kobold success. It was a tight-knit, greedy, and aggressive tribe that intimidated even a few of the nearby human settlements. But there was a flaw underlying our power. Once, long ago, a leader of our tribe signed a pact with the devils, promising them the soul of every tribe member in exchange for help and prosperity. Since then, every new WotR had to agree to the pact, and the power of the tribe grew, as did the number of lost souls. It was like that until our leader Urmak came to power. She was a principled and proud elder who didn't want to bend the knee to hell, so she refused to sign the pact, and all kinds of calamities befell our tribe. The tribe was attacked by its neighbors at the devil's instigation. Epidemics broke out. Then our slaves rebelled. They came after their former masters in the dead of night. Our clutches of eggs were ravaged. Our altars were desecrated, and our warriors were slain in their burrows. The slaves paid us in full for our cruelty and arrogance. They hunted us, chasing us down through the caves and mine shafts, level by level. When we were finally left alone, we had no idea where we were. All we saw around us was darkness, and lurking in that darkness were bloodthirsty and dangerous predators. After raising his voice dramatically, Crinukh suddenly stops. Then he adds with a teasing smile, I think this moment is enough of a cliffhanger to stop here. I'd like to know more about you. I'm flattered, but what's so special about me? I've never accomplished any feats on the battlefield. I don't know any special crafts, and I don't even belong to an exotic species. I don't have the slightest idea what you find so interesting about me. Remind me who you are, blah blah blah. What do you do? I am a traveling bard, and I can already foresee your next question. How does a bard who also happens to be a kobold manage to earn a living? All the civilized races of Avistan know that when you encounter a kobold, the best course of action is to smash its skull, trample it with a horse, and then burn the remains just in case. Well, the prejudice that civilized peoples have regarding my kind is quite understandable. Our infamy as robbers and murderers is more than deserved. So just imagine the spectacle in any tavern when an articulate kobold in decent clothes show up, offering to share a story or two for a few coins and a mug of ale. I assure you, no matter how big of a deal you are here, if we drop by any tavern in Andorran, all eyes will be on me. I am an exotic oddity. Why did you decide to come here to the Worldwound? I just don't like it when the residents of the lower planes get involved in the lives of mortals. I firmly believe that we don't need any advisors to help us handle our own affairs. And we need overlords even less. You're different from other kobolds. Yep. No more questions. I have a question about demons. You mentioned you know a lot about them. My humble knowledge is at your disposal. And do you know anything about wounds inflicted by demons that first appear, then disappear, and later reappear again? Do I need to resort to platitudes such as, the weirdest tricks can be expected from demons, or can I just skip that part? I've never heard anything like you're describing, but New sorts of nasty stuff appear in the Worldwound every day. However, if we think about it some more, don't you think that this wound doesn't cause enough trouble to be something the demons did to you on purpose? When you're hit by the magic of the abyss, you know instantly that death is coming your way, and fast. What is the demon's main weakness? It's the fact that they are hostages to their own nature. And by their nature, demons are just a bunch of mad apes, a grotesque parody of ordinary chaos. You don't need to make a bunch of apes angry, you just give one of them a banana and arm the other one with a stick. They'll kill each other without your direct intervention. How do you know so much about them? Crinukh gives you a long and heavy look, and we heard that. Thank you. Yeah, I have that. Okay, everything is clear to me now. That's a bold statement. Yeah, that's what I feel too. I'm in agreement. I'm not too happy with that statement, but okay. I'd like to hear the story of your travels. It's a long one. Which part would you like to know? I suspect this one is the one you already heard. Yes, it is. Have you heard about my unusual powers? I've heard that you are either extremely lucky or quite the opposite. You survived the massacre in Canarbras just to spearhead a new suicide mission. On the other hand, you survived then and most likely will survive now. Good luck in this noble endeavor. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Crinukh. Good luck. I believe you will need it. I like this kobold. I doubt there's anything here for us to loot. Well, we can always loot his... Oh, Elven Notes. I thought we were going to loot his food sack or something. Now all I have to do is remember to come back to him at choice points, which I probably won't. But yeah. Hurry exit. Oh, come on, guys. Then we have to go here. And down there. I don't know what this place is, but I think it's just a minor encounter. Yeah, I don't remember this place. Another one of those. The absence of an answer is an answer too. Yes, we've heard that several times before. And there's someone who is hanged by their hands here, with a dagger stuck through their chest. Oh, we'll grab the dagger and leave the poor sod hanging. Oh, I think I know where we are. Yeah, there's a path going down there, and I think there's a cave down here. There should be some fat loot to pick up down here.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
But the body is covered in terrible wounds. It is clear that they were not left by an animal's teeth, but by a skillful torturer's hand. That is a lot of perception checks that failed. And I guess we cannot... There we go, we can re-roll them. This cave, I think... I don't remember exactly what is in here, but it's a medium difficult encounter, that I remember. It's incubi. I don't know if I'm ready to switch Cal over to Scimitar's just yet, but we're not too far away from it. What is these guys' fire resistance? 10 we could try. Fails to overcome, so that is apparently too much.
Let's try this way.
That incubus is dead. Quite dead. I think there are more in here. Yeah, there's a path down. And then there are more down there. Although I don't remember exactly where. Will-o-wisp? That doesn't bode well.
I see blood. Blood!
I don't like will-o-wisps. There's 2 of them here as well.
Burn! Slice! Behead! Yes, behead.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very hard to hit those things. Oh, crap. See the other one because it disappeared
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Doesn't someone have a sea invisibility spell? There you are. Okay, so that's one of them dead. And the other one. Good. No major damage to the party. Ah, this is the place. Let's start with a haste spell. And a fireball. Shivial, the pain connoisseur. Can have another fireball. Or maybe not. What are your prepared spells? Okay, I'll just stand still there then. Can charge him. I doubt he can charge. Nope. But he can move down there. Lan, go after this Shivial guy.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Jonathan, you can also go down there. And Quadrotus, you should probably go down there as well. Seela, you definitely need to go down there. And I want to go into defensive stance and move. If I can get that dot. Thank you. There we go. Cal. Cast prayer. Wally. kill him.
Calculated risk.
We could try at least.
Cover me, all right?
I don't know if Peps is going to have that fireball queued up now. Thankfully, he does not.
May I see your entrails, please?
You won't survive me.
Yeah, that's the end of him. When he's tripped, there is no way he's going to survive this. Oh, he cast Vine Trap on us. What does that do? Well, Peps saved anyways, so...
This should do it. Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Can't do anything. There are too many people standing in that circle now. And he's hiding behind the table.
Endure this.
But that should be that. Okay, now we can loot these guys. So Shivial himself has just the Masterwork Scimitar. He also has the Chainmail of Comradry. +3 Mithril. That is nice. He has a Belt of Physical Flow, Strength and Dexterity, and a Cloak of Resistance +2. That is very decent loot. Take that. And that. And Crooked Paw. There is someone lying over there. I don't know how much raw nature we need for this one. So I'm going to save. And failed. There is something about that corpse that I don't know if it's just a random thing or if it's tied into the story.
The mongrel did it.
Yeah, it's just a random thing. Okay, this person's murderers were masters of torture. Judging by the wounds, they tortured him for weeks before he died. Jeesh. Yeah, but incubi. He has a Righteous Crusader ring. I think we'll give that to Sela. Why did he have a demonic heart? Maybe some questions are better left unasked? I don't know. This guy over here also has a demonic heart. What did they do to these people? Okay, Sela, you can have this ring. That will give you an additional Smite Evil. Strength and Dexterity. I think we want that one to go to Woljif. Why are your abilities... Ah, you're fatigued. Ah, right. We are in that stage. Dexterity Pure? Yeah, that was one thing that I kind of forgot about Peps. I think I'm going to just have to focus him on bows. Otherwise, I'll have to go with finesse wielding on him because he has such low strength that he's quite useless when it comes to attack. Let's see if I, for instance, give him this dagger. You can see that he has a +8 to attack on the bow, and of course, a sorcerer also already has a very low base attack bonus. If I move to this, we are all down to +4, which is why he misses so often. So, yeah. But giving him more dexterity... We don't really need dexterity on Cal because he applies his charisma bonus to armor class. Not yet, but eventually. Local resistance +2, you can have that. So I think we'll give that dexterity belt to Wally. Cloak of Resistance +1. Now, who has the lowest saving throws here? Peps. But you already have. You have one of those, and you even still have the lowest. Okay. Then I think Wally is the next one. Yep. As for these armors, a breastplate +2. I don't think that outweighs that one. No, it does not. The chainmail of camaraderie. It actually weighs the same as that unbending armor. Then again, I think this one is better suited on Waldriff, as he will be more often in close combat.
I know. Let's sell this.
I think this is conflicting with major armor currently. Yes. And now, Lan, you can... Wait. I think I did something wrong here. You can't equip it. That's the problem. Okay, Lan, then... Well, I might give it to Sela, actually. No. Well, I'll give it to Cal. That is the most sensible option here. Unbending armor, that's 20, and that's 25. I think we'll keep the unbending armor. Yep, that's about it for this place. So we'll head on back outside of the cave, and we probably need to rest. I can't go back to the Crusader camp to do a rest there because of those reasons. So we'll go out and oh geesh. Okay, cast haste. Run up here and leave the map and travel towards Heaven's Edge, and we'll rest along the way. Destroy and leave. Can my armies move yet? Yeah, they can. It's not urgent though. I did some replacements. I changed out the infantry with Hell Knights. That said, I do want to explore this area here, so let's quickly fight these ones. Yep. We found the pieces of the unholy symbol of Rovagug and an orc double axe +2, which will go into the pocket of some vendor. We also leveled up. That's useless. That's useless. So we'll take that one. Is that battle done with? And we found a herbal ring. Ah. In place of anything else, I suppose it could be decent enough. Okay, now let's travel up to that army. No, I do not want to begin resting just yet. We will, however, rest here. Use a recipe to cook fish on a stick. Okay, I apparently forgot to click that. Interesting.
It's not that I miss the creatures from my old hunting grounds in the caves. But back there, if a beast didn't eat you for lunch, you could eat it instead. It doesn't work like that with demons.
I was about to make a quote-unquote joke about that, but I think I'll refrain from it. And of course, we need Daeran for this encounter. Take 1 day and 10 hours. Bah. Peps out, Daeran in. And I have to level up Daeran. Even though I will respec him. I've given him Shake It Off and Extra Channel. Let's see here. Level 7. He should... Does he have the Mythic level 1? I think he does. We're going to take Meta Magic. Titan Spell. Revelation. Give him a wolf. Level 1 spell. Magic Weapon. Level 2 spell. 8. Level 3 spell. Remove Curse. Remove Disease, which seem to be more frequent than Curse, but... Okay. That gives us a new animal companion to deal with, which we can't deal with until we actually enter a map, which is a little bit annoying. I don't think we are going to have any combat here, so I think we should be fine. I could level up my characters here, but... Here we go. Bully, as per usual. Just get that table for how I level up the companions. Athletics and Perception. Here is full. And we need a name. Thinking here. Let me quickly check. Who can we use that I haven't used in a while? Yeah, that works. Groundbuster. And I have to continue to level him up so that I actually get him up to a decent level. I don't remember if we have combat here, but I don't think we have combat here. I think this is a storyline area. Improved initiative. We need 1 point in intelligence. And then we are going to take Shake It Off. And level 7, we want Outflank. Now, you may remember that I mentioned that Lan critted in the, I think it was the previous episode. Might have been this one. No, I think it was the previous one. this is the thing here. Whenever you and an ally who also has this feat are flanking the same creature, and apparently it also applies to Lan when he is shooting a bow, your flanking bonus on attack rolls increases to +4. In addition, whenever you score a critical hit against the flanked creature, it provokes an attack of opportunity from your ally. So all of these will get an additional attack of opportunity randomly if someone crits whenever one of these are present, now also including Groundbuster, which makes this feat extremely powerful.
My not so numerous, but nonetheless dearest guests. About a year ago at my last birthday party, I assured you all that I nurtured a deep-seated hatred for boring people who give protracted speeches in the misplaced belief that their inner thoughts are of any interest to anyone but themselves. Now I am a whole year older and also a full-fledged crusader, an honorable position that requires me to be as dull, pedantic, and vexing as I possibly can. Therefore, a speech it is.
Marvelous, Daeran.
The revered cleric Nestrin, my guardian and tutor, often told me that those who live a sinful life may expect to join the abyssal hordes after they die. This is why their path is the most despicable of all. A part of their soul may return to Mendev in the abominable form of a demonic invader. Every time we see a demon, we might as well think about it. What if this wretched creature used to be your great-great-grandfather? What if certain parts of this pointy-tailed beauty used to belong to your pious cousin? They say that the demons represent the sins of the souls they are made of. Succubi emerge out of lustful souls. Vandals turn into Abracandilu. Gluttons become Nabasu. I, for one, am determined to commit as many different sins as possible, so that the distributive mechanism of the abyss breaks when it tries to decide what to do with my soul.
That is quite a goal.
You, my dearest guests, will be my assistants in this complicated task. Eat, drink, and indulge yourselves in whatever vices you can. Let nobody leave this house as righteous as they entered it. Live every day like it's your last. After all, nobody knows when that day will arrive, do they?
It's not quite in Cal's character to do just that, but okay. How interesting, Inquisitor Leotor whispers in your ear from behind. Did you find anything interesting? Nothing really, I just took note of a few things. I attempted to find out whether anything unusual or mysterious has happened to the Count over the last 10 years. During my conversations with his acquaintances, two people noted that he never speaks of the revered Nestrin, the priest of Iomade, who was his guardian and tutor. Yet he just mentioned Nestrin in his speech, whatever that might mean. You told me that you tried to find out if anything odd had happened to Daeran over the last 10 years. Some of his servants complained about strange occurrences in the house, like objects moving by themselves or candles going out. Of course, that could simply be a figment of their imagination. It is also very well known that the Count often invites various spellcasters to entertain him and encourages them to use their magic in mischievous ways. Practically the whole Mendev knows the story about the 3 drunk wizards and their teleportation race across the roofs of Canabras after a party at the Count's house. What I'm trying to say here is that any fluctuations in residual magic at his house are not at all surprising. There was the matter of the abduction, however. A gang of bandits kidnapped the Count, hoping for a ransom, but the only reward they got was death. Afterward, the Count told everyone that he had hired the bandits himself as a joke. The other mercenary squad that freed him and executed the bandits was also in his employ. Nobody really wanted to delve too deep into this case after confirming the identities of those wretched cutthroats, But there was one disturbing fact about it all, and I don't mean the Count's bizarre idea of fun. The mercenaries who supposedly freed him had also cut off the bandits' heads after they had already killed them. Their heads were cut off? You mean the bandits who attacked Daeran? Yes. Perhaps I wouldn't have even noticed this detail had I not visited Heaven's Edge right after the tragic incident. I remember that we also found several headless bodies, both of guests and demons. We thought they had been decapitated during the fight. My companions have been finding severed heads among their belongings recently. Strangely, things like this weren't a problem before Daeran joined the party. What? That is an alarming coincidence. Now we have another reason to conduct an investigation. It is crucial that we find out exactly what happened at that tragic feast. What do we need to do, Inquisitor? Now, that's the hardest part. I need to dive deep into the past of this place, which requires casting several different spells over some time. It would be very convenient for me if nobody interrupted the process, especially the Count himself. I don't think he remembers my face, but a suspicious stranger casting unknown spells might attract his attention. All in all, what I want you to do is distract the master of the house. Right now, he is playing host in the very place I'd like to start with. So, how do I distract him? I don't know. Maybe your companions can assist you somehow? Or you can take a look around. Perhaps there is something that can help us. I shall do my best. Good luck. Come back to me when the Count leaves, and I will tell you everything I managed to find out and maybe even show you something. The decorative plants are in a miserable state. They have been neglected for many years. A jug of wine, if used creatively, may distract the Count for a while. Let's first and foremost loot the place. Does this... Yeah, it does. So, that's not going to work. I think we get to have the entire party at some point here, so let's wait with that until later on. I suppose we'll have to go through the entire place once more with the entire party. Countess Selena Nevia Dara Arendey with her infant son Daeran. Unlike typical aristocratic portraits, this one depicts a young mother having fun with her child on a seesaw. And the reason why I'm saying that I think we need to go through it one more time is because I don't have a lot of perception, as you can see here. I've failed at least 2 checks already. That's not bad. 203 diamond dust? Well then. A couple of books. Another book. I thought we took everything. Chest. Why is... okay. I'm not sure. Sure, you're having fun. Yeah. Sealed? This one is probably sealed as well. Okay, let's try to distract Daeran. Daeran, who has been watching the guests with an unreadable expression, turns his head to you and says in a casual tone, like he's been continuing a conversation that was interrupted. I have always considered myself an aesthete, not a hero. When doomsday comes, I thought I'd pour myself a glass of 100-year-old wine, sit in the front row and just watch the world burn. Playing the violin was also an option. Now, I'll be damned if I know how I ended up in the Fifth Crusade. How did I become the companion of a hero chosen by Iomedae? Sometimes the most casual occurrences dictate our fate's course. I'm afraid that is not always the case. Sometimes it is dictated by alien but wholly deliberate forces. Tell me more about Heaven's Edge. This estate was once a truly beautiful sight with its lush gardens and placid ponds. Daeran smiles briefly. It is a genuine smile, quite different from his usual half-smirk. The house itself is not that large, however. This land was a part of the border region even before the Worldwound, so my ancestors took that into account when laying their foundations. The larger the mansion, the harder it is to defend. I'll gladly give you a tour, but I'm afraid there's not much to see. I didn't have much time, so my servants only managed to clean up this yard, the Great Hall, and a couple of rooms. There is nothing interesting about them, except perhaps the magical firefighting system powered by water elementals. I'm not sure it's still functional, though. Spill some wine on his suit. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. And did you also not mean to ruin a suit that cost more than a thoroughbred? Don't fret, I have a spare. Just you wait, when I return I shall look even more stunning. Isn't Leotor down here? Yes, he is. I see that you did your part, Commander. Thank you. Now get ready to watch and listen closely. I will unravel the past of this place and try to show you whatever I find. The hum of voices, laughter, and music fills your mind. Then the visions come, fragmented and hazy at first, before eventually coalescing to reveal a single face. It is a woman of stunning, heavenly beauty, and her delicate features instantly tell you who she is. The family resemblance to Daeran is obvious. My dear guests, the Lady of Heaven's Edge welcomes all of you today. I hope this day is as bright for you as it is for me, because on this day, my only, precious, sometimes arrogant, but utterly beloved child was born. A child is usually a reflection of their parents and caretakers. Countess, will you allow the humble tutor of this young man to address the guests and the man of the hour as well? A new face appears. It is a handsome old man with a strong, dignified posture and a voice that emanates power. Can't we just have one day without your sermons? It's my birthday after all. 10 years ago, the young Daeran had an utterly angelic appearance. His table manners and expression lack the dignity of a true angel, however. Day? I'm sure the revered Nestrin only wanted to hug you and offer you his best wishes on your birthday. Wait, what's that noise? The shrill laughter rings in your ears and reverberates in the base of your skull. In the vision, a Lilitu appears before the guests of the estate and gives them an exaggerated, scornful bow. The sorceress of evil has come to your celebration, mortals. Did you prepare a treat for me too? What do you want, spawn of the abyss? I've already done everything I wanted to. Hey, you, doddering cleric, look around. Don't you notice anything odd? The plague is in your wine, in your food, in the air around you, in your blood. Soon you will all die. Pray to your pathetic goddess and call upon your healing powers all you want, but they are not going to help you. Nothing will help you. I will give you a chance to see it for yourselves, and when I return, the grave realization will already have sunk its teeth into your throats. Oh, how I love watching mortals in their final desperate hours. The demon finishes her speech with an air kiss to Daeran, making him freeze in horror, and disappears. WotR shakes his head and slowly exhales, rubbing his temple. The first appearance of the disease and the Lilitu, one of the many sisters of the accursed Minago. So far, everything I've seen matches the official version of the events. With the people in the vision. Countess Selena Aranday was Daeran's mother and one of the most beautiful women in the history of Mendev. She was an Aasimar, just like her son. The old man is the esteemed cleric Nestrin, our count's guardian and tutor. He was well known for his unfaltering faith and iron will. I was only passing acquaintances with him, so I can't tell you anything more than that. I didn't recognize the others, but Daeran told me that the first victims of the disease were his second cousin and the cousin's wife, hailing from the eastern border. Surely the cleric could have done something. I can't say for certain, but I believe there was nothing he could have done. Magical diseases are already difficult enough to cure, and this plague struck very fast indeed. Now, we must find out what happened next. So, what now? I can sense the aftershocks of a very strong outburst of emotions and memories somewhere in the west wing of the house. Something must have happened in one of the rooms, so please check if anyone is in there and distract them if need be. That should probably be the bedroom. Daeran arches a brow at you, but he doesn't seem to be disturbed in the slightest by your entrance. He's not trying to cover up or get dressed any faster. Commander, I assume that you have an urgent matter that requires my attention. 2 seconds, please. What is this room? Daeran casts a look around the room as if he had never seen it before, then shrugs carelessly. Just a random room. I told my servants to make some rooms ready. This is one of the rooms they chose. I'm absolutely confident that you won't be able to persuade Sociel to draw a portrait of you. A nude portrait, that is. That sounds like a fine idea. Our cleric will surely turn down a direct request, but if I tell him that we can sell the portrait at a charity auction... Why have I never before thought of selling my nude portraits at a charity auction? It will cause us huge scandal, but it will also be for a good cause. This will give those god-botherers something to complain about. You've given me a brilliant idea. I love Daeran. It's a shame that he's kind of redundant in the party because he's just so amusing. I see that you were able to do as I asked. Prepare yourself. This vision might be rather difficult to watch. Young Daeran stands motionless by the Countess's bed. His face is pale with fear, and for good reason. His mother's heavenly beauty is gone. Her smile, once beaming with vitality and happiness, looks more like the grimace of a corpse. Only her golden hair still glows, a sad reminder of the healthy young woman she was just a few hours ago. Mother? Can you hear me, Mother? Day, my boy, how did you get here? The Countess's voice is fading. Don't come any closer, this disease. Mother, listen. The revered Nestrin has sealed the gates. He says that he won't let anyone leave the estate. If the plague reaches the larger settlements, no one will be able to stop it. He claims this is why the demons attacked us in the first place. They knew that we would call upon the strongest clerics to heal us, and those clerics would catch the disease and die as well. The fat Baron and his family tried to escape, but 3 armed paladins barred their way and said they would not let them go. Mother, we need help. Kenabris is full of clerics, wizards, and demons know who else. They might know how to stop it. Need to get there as soon as possible. We must obey the revered Nestrin. We are the lords of Mendev, and we must protect our people. If the plague reaches Kenabris, thousands of innocent people will die. I don't care about innocents. Daeran's voice rises to a shout. You're ill, Mother. You're dying. You must tell them to open the gates and take you to Kenabris. They won't listen to me, but you are the lady of the estate, and they can't refuse you. I can't. I must. Please leave, my dearest. Don't lose hope. You can still... A convulsion overtakes the Countess's body. Her last words are swallowed by a long, guttural groan. Leota wearily rubs his temples. His face, though, is unreadable. Now I have an answer to one of my many questions. Nobody went to Kenabris in search of help because the revered Nestrin didn't let them. He valued the safety of the city more than the lives of his flock at the estate. What a difficult choice it must have been. All lives are equally valuable. How could he refuse to save them just because he thought some other people might suffer? The magnitude of potential disaster made him do so. Perhaps it was a matter of his dignity. No one wants to be responsible for wiping out an entire city. Leota rubs his chin thoughtfully. I have never been in the revered Nestrin's position, but I know the price of difficult decisions, especially those that you have to make quickly. I have no right to judge him, but we must continue our investigation. The next site I would like to examine is the Great Hall. That is where we found the remains of Nestrin and the demons. I assume that he killed them in a confrontation, but we must make sure of that. Please, help me clear the area so that I can study it. Stop trying to talk me into this. You have neither heart nor conscience, Daeran. Even the noble idea of charity becomes a farce when you touch it. I don't think these so-called innocents will suffer from knowing that their money and medicine came from my sinful silhouette. Now, since we are past episode timing, I think we'll just go right to where we need to go. There is a feverish gleam to Daeran's eyes, owing either to tipsiness or some overabundance of emotion. Oh there, Cal. That rotter social refused to sketch me in the nude for charity, but it didn't upset me too much. The faces he made while I was explaining the idea to him were well worth it. He looked very much like a pious matron being confronted with a talking male organ. one that was 2 foot long and being held aloft by a pair of golden angel wings. How are you enjoying my party? Are you having a good time? How about you, Daeran? Are you having any fun? Of course I'm having fun, Daeran says defiantly. What's wrong? Do you want me to spend my whole life in fear and mourning, blaming myself for what happened? Fine, let's change the subject. I thought the unique ambience of Heaven's Edge and the fact that we are on the very border with the Worldwound would make this celebration special. I thought the past would resurface and make itself known. Daeran smirks bitterly. Well, it seems even ghosts don't wish to attend my parties anymore. What can we do to liven up the evening? You know what I think? I think it's time for a drinking contest. Ah yes, a tried and trusted method for salvaging a dull party. Salvaging anything, actually. I am ready, but who is my competition? Sela will fight for the honor of all paladins. Yes, sir, Commander. Daeran, my boy, you've still got time to back out. You don't want Auntie Sela to spank you in front of everyone now, do you? What will you do if I win? Are you going to cry and pray to Iomedae for an alcohol resistance aura? Now that would be something worth seeing. Let's drink until one of us falls unconscious or begs for mercy. That was just a little warm-up, I say. Up for more? The fear of your inevitable defeat has already got the better of you, Daeran. I can see it in your eyes, boy. Come on, let's have another round. Will this be the one that knocks you flat? Failing in battle against such a worthy opponent would even bruise my ego, especially if you carry me upstairs to bed afterward. I'm cheering for Daeran. Go on, Count, show us what you've got. That's unexpected. I thought everyone was against me. Whoa, are we done here, or are you ready for another round? To whom should I dedicate this glorious feat, putting the haughty, self-absorbed prick of a count in his place? To my dearest royal cousin. I am sure any failure of mine will bring her joy. Oh, my head feels funny. My grandfather, or maybe my great-grandmother, put this bottle in the family cellar. So why did it fail the scion of the illustrious Arandaes in his time of need? Daeran looks a bit unsteady on his feet. I don't feel very well. Hey, everyone, let's go back outside. I need to get some fresh air in my lungs. Here we are again, Commander. Leoto looks grim, but focused. So, let's take another glimpse into the past. A ripple of laughter flows through the hall. It begins as a sweet, charming chuckle, but then turns into a rasping cackle that makes Daeran huddle even deeper into his corner. Why are you running from me, my sweet prince? Come on, let me touch you. I will give you... The booming voice of an old man dressed in Iomedae robes shakes the walls of the hall. Get away from him, demon. Let the boy go. By the blade of the Inheritor, you touch him only over my dead body. You are pathetic, old cleric. Are you the guardian of this charming little prince? Well, you guarded him in vain. The disease is already circulating in his blood, and soon he will rot before your very eyes. You won't be able to help him, and I can at least make sure his death is beautiful, clean, and sweet. The demoness turns her eyeless face to Daeran and licks her lips. A coarse laugh escaped the young man's throat. We'll see about that. The WotR turns toward you in astonishment. Droplets of sweat glisten on his temples. Something is wrong, Commander. My spells are not working as expected. It's as if some kind of a supernatural explosion occurred here 10 years ago, blending everything together. The magical auras, the emotions, the memories. I will again try to read it. Could it be dangerous? I cannot say for certain, but it is unlikely. The past is in the past, and no one can travel through time except for some uniquely powerful entities like Aeons, or even perhaps the eldest of the First World. Even though the past of this place is horrible, it poses no threat to us in the present. Well then, please continue. Just give me a moment to focus. I will try to channel my visions and feelings to you as accurately as possible. Daeran, my boy, what is going on? The WotR's muscular shoulders suddenly begin to shake. The vision he is channeling does not change, but you feel something enormous and chillingly silent infiltrate the reality around you. The presence of this nameless being becomes almost palpable. Some alien entity is talking to him. Hurry, old cleric, stop him right now. Do you really want to see what happens when... Save me. Can you save me? The presence thickens into something more tangible. The entity is silent, but you feel your blood pulsing in your temples, and each beat brings a new image, or rather a new notion. Help brings a feeling of relief and safety. Exchange makes the pulse stronger, more demanding. Gate and secret come immediately after. The images become heavier, almost visible. Secret. Keep the secret. Otherwise, death. Death, death, death. The gruesome images whirl through your mind, filling it with pain and fear, and then it starts all again. Help, exchange, secret, death. Nestrin stretches out his shaking hand, suddenly looking like a doddering old man instead of a mighty cleric imbued with holy power. Daeran, wait! The thing you're about to let loose is even worse than these demons. Daeran's body is quivering like a taut bowstring. His eyes dart from the cleric to the demoness, who is frantically casting protective spells. Demons, saints, I am so fed up with all of you. Burn! Hello? The WotR opens his eyes with a groan and then gets back on his feet. His legs are wobbly, his eyebrow is cut, but he seems not to notice. Sincere sorrow is written on his face, as well as a strong hint of horror. What a misfortune. No, what a disaster. Everything is far worse than I imagined. Are you alright? The strain and the emotions, they overwhelmed me and made me faint like an agitated youngster. It is nothing really. I will not be able to cast any spells for the rest of the day, but aside from that, I am fine. Do you understand now what happened 10 years ago? The Inquisitor slowly exhales through clenched teeth and says in a low voice, still massaging his temples. Yes and no. Damn it, my thoughts are astray. I will try to explain everything to you in full detail. Many living things are capable of performing the most extraordinary feats, good or bad, when a deadly threat looms over them. 10 years ago, the young Count found himself cornered in every sense of the word, and he allowed some alien entity to intercede for him. It frightens me that all my experience as an Inquisitor is completely useless in this case. It does not resemble anything I've ever heard or read about. This entity, I think I will call it the Other, possesses uncanny power. It was capable of instantly killing 3 greater demons, a mighty cleric, and a host of other mortals. You saw everything yourself. What's even worse is that this entity, this other, it is still here. Leotor takes a long pause. His gaze is drawn to the chamber where all the guests are laughing and dancing. Daeran's eloquent voice rises above the music for a moment. He's asking someone to bring more wine and add more logs to the fire. I don't know what exactly this creature is, but I know what it did to the Count. It turned him into a living gateway. The other is not inside the Count's body, it is not directly controlling his mind. That's why there are no obvious signs of possession. But it is looking through his eyes. It treats him like a window into our world, and it can instantly step through it to wreak whatever havoc it desires. Does Daeran know anything about all this? Yes, of course he does. Did you hear what the other tried to convey to us? Help in exchange for a secret. Death? Death to those who know the truth. It wants to have an opportunity to use the Count as a gateway without anyone knowing. This is what made Daeran deny that he remembered anything about the conclusion of the events at Heaven's Edge. What might the other want? This is the strangest thing about it all. It came to this world 10 years ago, and it's still here, right? All this time it has been watching us through the eyes of the Count. Had it, for instance, wanted to kill Her Majesty the Queen, it would have had plenty of opportunities to do so. The Count can get close to practically every influential figure in Mendev, but the other refuses to act. Or its interests lie in some other sphere. Did the other kill everyone then? The disease was not to blame. Not everyone, just Nestrin, his paladins, and the few remaining guests. Damn it, I know it was the work of a mysterious omnipotent entity, but it still stings. I was here 10 years ago and I didn't check everything personally. And those who did failed to sense that something was wrong. Could the other be the reason why my companions kept finding severed heads among their belongings back in Kenabres? It seems very likely. I am almost certain you are right. People tend to lose their heads when they get too close to Count Arenday anyway. I do apologize, that was inappropriate. Perhaps your gruesome findings are the heads of some cultists who tried to kidnap the Count during the Kenabres slaughter. Or perhaps they provoked the other in some other way. We have to do something. Yes, now I understand Father Nestrin perfectly. I must make a crucial decision despite a dearth of information. The Inquisitor falls silent for a while. Then he looks you right in the eye. Commander, first and foremost, I must apologize to you. Second, I must ask you to keep this secret. What are you so sorry for? I apologize for dragging you into this mess. You see, the other, an entity of immense power, stated very clearly that it would kill anyone who found out the truth. Anyone who knows that the Count is actually its living gateway. I suppose this secret is currently known to 3 people on Golarion. You, me, and Count Daeran. And that means... Leotor gives you a crooked smirk and shrugs. Why should I keep it a secret? As soon as the Count finds out that we know his secret, the other will understand it as well. We do not know what it is and what exactly is the scope of its powers, but we do know that it would dispose of anyone who might reveal its existence. I've made a decision, Leotor says gravely. I will not tell anyone about the discovery we've just made, not even the Queen or my superiors. Instead, I will immediately go to Nerosian and sift through all the archives of the Inquisition in order to find out what exactly we are dealing with and how it can possibly be defeated. I may also make some cautious inquiries in other places, including Absalom. Still, I will not reveal the truth until I have found at least some reliable information. I am asking you to do the same. Specifically, do not say a single word about our investigation to the Count himself. So you want me to lead the crusade while carrying a bomb that may explode at any moment? I'm afraid that you won't be able to hide from the consequences when this bomb does explode. It is up to you to decide, though. You to do with Daeran himself. At the very least, he's guilty of letting the other enter our world. Right now, I am a lot more concerned about the other, but when we find a way to get rid of this entity, the Count will have to stand trial. Many things about this case are still unclear, including the extent of his guilt. Did he call upon the other by himself, or did he simply answer its call? Could he refuse its offer, or would it have led to his immediate death? Every detail is important, and every testimony needs solid proof. That is the difference between righteous justice and blind vengeance. Well, fine, I will keep it a secret. WotR lets out a sigh of relief. You've made the right choice. I recommend that you go back to the guests and spend the rest of the evening as you please. Anything else might raise suspicions. I must leave immediately in search of the knowledge we all need so desperately. Farewell, Commander. May the light of Eomade guide your path, and WotR Hawkblade will try to keep your path to triumph clear of any unwanted guests. It's an interesting little story, isn't it? But I think we're done here. I don't think we can re-enter the place. I wish that we could, because... Well, actually, we are going back here later on, so things that I haven't been able to pass now, I should probably be able to pass them later on when we visit again. So this turned into quite a long episode, but again, what's coming up next is immense. So I wanted to finish this and then have the next episode dedicated to that. If you have any questions and or comments as per usual, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section below. I probably should have mentioned this in a far previous episode, but if you're interested in character builds, or the specific character builds that I'm using, and don't want to have to piecemeal them together from the episodes themselves, then I have shared a Word document in the Pathfinder channel in my Discord server, so you can always pop in there if you would like to have that in a written handy reference for you if you want to play similarly, or if you want some kind of inspiration here. But for now, I hope that you enjoyed the episode and that I will see you all in the next one. And with that, bye for now.